Namaste, everyone. Welcome to this special panel discussion. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Upasana. Good evening, Koustav. Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Dilip. Good evening, Abhishek.
Good evening.
Just waiting for a few people to join. I think we have around 200 people registered for today's event. 212, I can see. So, namaste everyone. Welcome to this special Rites of Passage webinar. And today's session is a panel discussion between our conservation advocates, Koustav Choudhury, Dilip Kumar, and Abhishek Rawat. And it will be moderated by Upasana Ganguly from World Wildlife Trust of India. My name is Gaurav Nalkur. I'll just give a quick introduction for those of you who have not attended previous webinars. I'm an avid birdwatcher and wildlifer. I'm also a big believer in the fact that wildlife ecotourism, when done responsibly, can be a great tool for raising and aiding conservation awareness. I'm currently training to be an ecotourism expert, although I am qualified as a wildlife biologist. And for the last 5 years, I've been working with Asian Adventures, which is a 30-year-old tour company and India's largest bird tour operator, and which shares my goal for helping the tourism industry evolve to be more sustainable and responsible. I'll just quickly introduce all of our speakers today. So I'd like to start with introducing Upasana Ganguly. Upasana heads the Rites of Passage Wildlife Corridors projects at Wildlife Trust of India. Her interest lies in landscape ecology and connectivity conservation for large mammals, such as Asian elephants and tigers. And she's one of the co-authors of the Rites of Passage publication, which is a green print to secure 101 elephant corridors across India. She leads a network of Green Corridor champions who train and empower local community-based organizations for protecting elephant corridors and habitats across 11 states of India. And she's also a member of the IUCN World Commission on Protected Areas and its Connectivity Conservation Specialist Group. Upasana's work also involves forging international collaborations and mobilizing funding support through foundations and charities for the Wildlife Corridors projects at WTI. So thanks for joining us, Upasana.
Thank you, Gaurav.
We also have today Abhishek Rawat. Abhishek is a founding member of Nature's Buddy, which is a youth-based NGO working for the conservation of the environment and wildlife in Uttarakhand region. He also works with Break Free from Plastic, which is a global NGO. Abhishek works with them as their representative in India in the Asia Pacific. This NGO is currently involved in drafting a global plastic treaty.
Hi.
Welcome, Abhishek.
Hi.
We also have Koustav Choudhury. Koustav is an ecologist and conservation technologist with 12 years of experience in the field of conservation. He is the executive director of Solitary Nature and Animal Protection, SNAP Foundation, and he has been working with several national and international organizations, including WTI, WWF India, and IUCN and the Nature Conservancy, as well as many others. He's also associated with the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau of the Government of India. Welcome, Koustav. Glad to have you here today.
Well, thank you.
And last but definitely not least, we also have Dilip Kumar. Sorry. So Dilip is a senior research officer at A. Rocha. I'm sorry, did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Okay. A. Rocha, India, which leads a human elephant conservation program. His research includes assessing captive elephant welfare, investigating human leopard conflicts, and gaining insight into wildlife preservation and human livelihood balance. He's also co-authored several research papers and a book on wildlife conservation in Bannerghatta National Park in Karnataka. Thanks for joining us, Dilip. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, without much ado, I think Upasana, I'll let you take the lead now, and I think we'd love to hear from our uh, conservation advocates and what you have planned for us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this panel discussion. We would like to keep it as a chat with some of our conservation champions. I'm very happy and proud to be moderating this panel. Just a bit about our project. If any of you have been attending the Global Wildlife Fair and Asian Adventures webinar throughout every month, the first of the series, the webinar we did in March, was an introduction to the Rite of Passage project by Dr. Sandeep Tiwari. This is a flagship project of Wildlife Trust of India, which we have been implementing for over 2 decades now. Of course, the aim has been to try and work with various stakeholders to provide safe passage to elephants across their 101 identified elephant corridors in India across 11 states of the country. So while we did focus on visiting each of the corridors, identifying what corridors are there in every part of the country, and also ground surveying them, bringing out a publication in 2017, the latest edition of the Rite of Passage publication. We've also been implementing different approaches to see how we can actually secure safe passage for elephants across these identified connectivities across India. And one of the core strategies has been to how to take Gaja to the Praja, how we take the message of elephants, elephant conservation, their role in the ecosystem to the public to try and mobilize political as well as public will. At Wildlife Trust of India, one of our core strategies has always been collaborations and partnerships with different NGOs, local communities, governments, non-government officials, and all possible kinds of stakeholders, because we always believe that whatever conservation successes are achieved, are almost always achieved with collaborations and partnerships. So it was only right that a project of this magnitude, that is the Rite of Passage project aiming to secure safe passage for 101 corridors in India, also incorporates this kind of an approach. So today's panel discussion is a bit of focus on some of our conservation partners, primarily termed as the Green Corridor Champions. We are all part of a network which was initiated in 2017, this initiative, and now I'm happy to say that we have this network with 25 organizations with presence across 57 of these 101 identified corridors. So these are the people who are actually eyes, ears, and voices for the protection of these corridors, who are day and night facilitating safe passage for elephants, trying their level best to see if these corridors are protected for over a long term. And I'm very happy that 3 of our partners from different parts of India, one from Uttarakhand, Abhishek is from Uttarakhand, Dilip is from Karnataka, and Koustav is from West Bengal. So we've been able to bring them all together for this discussion with them, and I'm sure that this panel discussion, of course, will discuss a bit about their work, specifically for elephants and their corridors, but also it would be very informative for all of you to understand the work they do, the work their organization does, and what are the different approaches they have been implementing to facilitate conservation projects in their respective landscapes. So once again, welcome to the 3 of you. Just to start with, I think it would be very interesting to know, especially I'd like to start with Abhishek because I think you're the youngest of the lot here. Could you share a specific moment or just an incident which inspired you to come into this field of wildlife conservation? Was there any specific incident or a moment which influenced that path?
Good evening, everyone. So thank you, Upasana, for the lovely introduction. So basically, myself, Abhishek Rawat, and I belong from Uttarakhand. So I am the youngest GCC. I am just 29 years of age. So what inspired me, it's a small story. So I belong from Uttarakhand, a small town. I was born in Pauri. So Pauri is very beautiful place. So since childhood, I have witnessed beautiful mountains, alpine meadows, streams, and white rivers. But for the past 20 years, Uttarakhand has lost more than 50 hectares of forest cover due to development activities. So if I talk about development activities, it's all about mining, infrastructure building, roadway, highways, NH, dams construction, and many more. Also, it's very disturbing for us because what we have seen in past years and what we are now seeing, it's something which is very worried for us. So so current scenario of Uttarakhand was that it was climatic changing was taking place, and habitat loss was also a main concern for us because many animals, many wildlife species were losing their habitat, were losing their home. So the conflict chances was increasing. So this make us if more worried, and we take initiative that if we will not come forward and protect and conserve our nature, then who will do? So we build a team of same mindset team, or we say volunteers who are really much concerned about their native place, and we form a group called Nature's Buddy in 2019, and we start working with different stakeholders, with different people for the conservation of nature and wildlife. So in 2022, we came know about Wildlife Trust of India, about their work entire pan India about conservation in of many different wildlife species. So we started GCC program of Right of Passage in December 2022, and it was a great learning from them because every step we are learning, and thank you for their support and guidance. So that was something which inspired us to do for conservation of wildlife and environment.
Okay, nice, very nice, Abhishek. Thank you so much. Dilip, you are someone who I've seen grow very rapidly, rather, in Aerosha India.
Yeah.
Uh, from where you started to now handling so many aspects of the projects on your own. So that's a incredible thing. What inspired your journey?
So I'm from Kolar, the thing, part of Karnataka only. So I came to Bangalore in around 2012. So I was doing my bachelor's work, bachelor's in Bangalore University. So Bangalore University is a huge campus of a lot of trees are there and lot of vegetation and all. So the total area is around 2,000 hectares. So the people used to see a lot of wildlife, like not a big wildlife, like snakes and things like that. So I started just like a random rescue in the snakes and things like that. So I met one of my lecturer called Jai Shankar. So he put me in touch with Arosha. So when I came, there was a program, volunteer program on elephant population estimation. So he put me here. So then I came and met Avinash. So I got inspired by Avinash after seeing that his work with the wildlife and things like that. So out of 35 people in that day, out of 35 people, I was the only person who saw the elephants. So and what are that? There are a lot of groups, and I saw 3 groups of elephants, and also one single male elephant, and also white in that journey. So I got very excited. This is the first time I'm going to the jungle and seeing the wildlife with that nature. So then I came and asked a lot of questions to Avinash. So close to the Bangalore, the thing, no one believed that there is a wildlife around Bangalore. Okay, so then Avinash told me about the human-elephant conflict, and also how the people are struggling with the elephant, and how the elephants are suffering from the people, like encroachments and other issues and things like that. So then I got fascinated by his words, and then I thought I should do something in a wildlife space. So then from volunteering, I became an intern the same in 2013 and 14. So I started my dissertation on captive elephant project. So it was a 1 year project. So every weekends I used to come and be at Arosha. So working with the wildlife and small mammals, things like that. So then I got the opportunity to work with Arosha as a full time research assistant. So then I started my journey around 2014-15. So it's almost like a decade now. So being with the wildlife, and now I'm heading different projects around.
Yeah, I think the mentorship one has in this field is very important, and especially the kind of mentorship and guidance you have also received, which I know of, is very key. And which leads me to you, Koustav, because you guide and mentor many young team members who are there who work with you. I'm sure people would like to know what actually inspired a young Koustav.
Basically, I am myself Koustav Choudhury. I am living in Siliguri, that is in Darjeeling district. And as you all know, that Darjeeling and Siliguri is a part of northern West Bengal, is full of biodiversity. So in my childhood days, I used to roam around with my father and my uncle in every this spot of jungles and hills areas. And I started working, not working, volunteering with some small nature organizations from my childhood, I think from 12, 13, 14 years in adventure sections and all. Later then, I got my degree in technology, and then I completed my degree in ecology. It also forced me to driven into this space. In my initial career days, after completion of my technology, I used to be a lecturer in a college, engineering college. Then after completion of this ecological degree, I have left the job and I started my own organization, that is SNAP Foundation. We have started it in 2017 with few of my biological background field like friends. Those are the degrees of biology, zoology, or conservation biology, and some technological friends also. We have started our journey in 2017, and we have some unique interventions, like we have a design device that is EliSense, which can detect the presence of elephants and give a locational information very promptly. So we have started that in 2017 from West Bengal. And after that, the journey was going on, and we met with WTI. I worked with IUCN, I worked with WWF, and other organizations. And we have worked with WTI from 2020. During COVID, we were in Jaldapara that time. That time there was we have a project going on in Jaldapara with IUCN. That time, 13 vultures were died in near our locality, and some of the colleagues of WTI were called me up. Sneha Sundaram, that time she was there in WTI, and we have started a RAP in 2020. And from 2020, we are continuously working with WTI in RAP and GCC. So WTI also give us a very good support in all our conservation projects till date. And all my colleagues, all my mates are professional conservationists right now. We are having a 76 people team members in our organization right now. We are working in Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, and West Bengal. So as being and brought up in an area full of wildlife and rich biodiversity, it driven me, or it passion. It is basically a passion for me to work for the wildlife. It basically driven me towards this conservation. Thank you.
I think Upasana, you're muted.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's incredible, Koustav, the work you've done and the people you've inspired along the path. Just for the people who are not aware, the RAP projects are the Rapid Action Projects, which are actually funded as small grants by the Wildlife Division of Wildlife Trust of India. So if any of you working in the field of conservation have any ideas which you feel can need some support, please do visit our website, the Wildlife section, and you'll be able to find the necessary links which are there to apply for such a project. Okay, now coming to my next question, which is to Koustav. Koustav, you work in an area which, in a state which is probably has one of the highest human-elephant conflict in the country, despite not having that high percentage of elephant population, which is West Bengal. So, working in this field of elephant conservation, I would like to ask you, what has been or what have been rather most significant challenges you have faced, you or your organizations have faced while working in elephant conservation? Also, if there's a particular memorable success story or achievement in this effort which you can share with all of us, that would be lovely.
Okay, Upasana. Yes, yeah, you are right. West Bengal is one of the highest in the conflict incidents in throughout our country. There are 600 plus elephants are living in northern West Bengal. That is basically a part of northern part of the West Bengal. It's the landscape consists of tea estates, national parks, sanctuaries, hill areas, and human settlements, linear infrastructure developments, and all. So the area is a mosaic landscape. And as 600 elephants are moving here everywhere from Assam border to Nepal border, there are 14 elephant corridors here from Assam border to this Mechi, like the Nepal border. So the main problem is that the human population are increasing in a rapid rate here. As you know, that Siliguri is one of the developing or a growing city. So nearby the Siliguri, Jalpaiguri is there, Coach Bihar is there, Alipurduar is there. So everywhere the population is increasing in a very rapid rate. The development of linear infrastructure like the roadways, the railways, and other things are also growing in a high rate. So it creates a huge problem for all of us to manage with the deal with the human-elephant conflict. And as the human encroachment towards the forest area is rising, so the cultivation patterns are changed. Those land use, land cover pattern are completely changed from last 5 years. In every 5 years, we are surprisingly seeing that the land cover patterns are changing in a very drastic manner. So that creates a huge problem for us to deal with the issue of human-elephant conflict, because elephants are moving towards human settlements, and humans are even moving towards the elephant settlements like the forest areas. So it is a very challenging place to work with, because the terrains are there and there are huge issues of conflict as populations, as I'm telling of. But memorable thing, there are so much of memorable thing during our field work. Like I can share you one story that in previous year we have had a very big problem. Like two things we'll share. There is a very big problem. There is a place called Gajol Doba, that is a Tista Reverse Dam. From that Gajol Doba till Jalpaiguri, that is 15 to 20 kilometers a stretch of the riverbed, and people are right now encroaching into that particular riverbed, and they're cultivating over. And as this falls under the Apalchand and Gorumara corridor, Apalchand and Gulma corridor, and there are army settlements also. So right now, as the corridors are not properly working, because there are army settlements, there are other problems, so elephants are shifting the movements towards the human settlements. And during Puja days, I think during Puja, Durga Puja and all, 130, 140 elephants enter into nearby Jalpaiguri area. That was a huge issue, because if elephants will enter in Jalpaiguri area, that was a human habitation. It creates a massacre. So we, along with West Bengal Forest Department, our team were there for 1.5 months, day and night, 24/7. We are working over there, and the good thing is that no single casualties happen in that place, not even a single human casualty. And elephants were there for 1.5 months, and then they move back towards forest. That was a successful interventions. That is number one. Number two, we can say of like few months back rather, 2 elephants were entered into Bangladesh territory from that particular area also, which I have mentioned, from Karshiang division and Goikuntupur division. So that was a huge successful operation we have conducted with Bangladesh Forest Department. We went over Bangladesh without passport. That is a very good thing for all of us, along with my CCF and all. And we pushed them back, and we successfully guided back those elephants toward our place. So this kind of incidents are there. Along with, we have the devices, as I told you, the elephants. We are working in Reti Titi corridor with Wildlife Trust of India, where there are a huge major problem with the army settlements. Because armies are basically staying in that particular corridor. And right now, the good thing is that after this years of interventions, right now the Indian army is supporting us very well. and they are right now protecting elephant with all of us. That is that collaborative effort I will definitely share in other other time also. So that kind of activities or achievements, not achievements, because our achievements, we can say it achievement if we can protect all of our elephant and the population and the conflict situations. Right now it is 50 to 55% incidents are right now decreasing, but our objective is to at least minimize 80%. So if we possibly do that, then I can say it an achievement. But yes, those are the memorable thing we can say.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, those are some tough things which one has to deal with, especially landscapes like this. But definitely, as we all know, collaborations and persistence is the key to resolve this. Dilip, I would like to ask you, because you also work in an area, Bannerghatta National Park, which is just adjacent to Bangalore. So it's like living with the wild, literally, the population there. So that's a whole different kind of challenges I'm sure you must be facing on a daily basis. So what have been some of the most significant challenges you and Arosha India have faced to tackle this matter? And also if you can highlight one memorable success in this effort, which you would like to share with all of us.
So as a Arosha, we majorly deal with the human-elephant conflict, and human-elephant conflict is a major issue in Bannerghatta, because not only because of the elephant and because of people also. Literally 1 million people stay around the Bannerghatta National Park, and it's very narrow. It's like a monkey tail. So, and we have a major problem with the male dispersal of an elephants. So we have two dispersal. One is a northeast and northwest dispersal from Bannerghatta. So northeast dispersal, 12 males going to the literally 100 kilometers, where there's no forest at all. So they have to cross highways, railway tracks, and even some of the hospital barricades they've broken, and they used to go there. So initially in 1996, it started with one elephant. So in 2015, 16, it ended up like 12 elephants. So imagine 12 elephants at a time going in a city raiding for crops. So how it will be? So what is that? People, at least if it does around Bannerghatta, so we could have convince the people, like it's a forest land. They come here and all. So it's like 100 kilometers from here. So people never in their life they have seen a wild elephant, and even the forest department doesn't know how to handle those elephants. So the biggest challenge is how to bring them back. So that is the one thing. So, and this elephant, what they used to do, so people used to like burst the crackers. Some of the instances we have seen, like people have think that they're captive elephant, they've gone to take a selfies with the elephants. So they don't know whether they're wild elephants or a captive elephants. And what this elephant used to do, all these 12 elephants used to go and hide in a water body, because there's no forest. First of all, if the forest is there, also they have to bring back the elephants to Bannerghatta. So they have to keep driving them. So what they used to do, so there are huge water bodies like 500 acres or 1,000 acres water bodies. So they'll go in the water body, just lift their tongue up, so submerge in the water till evening. Only the evening, after it becomes like a sunset, so they start coming out. So these are the major problem with around Bannerghatta. And also one more dispersal is northeast dispersal. So that is we also work with the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu Forest Department also. So this elephant from Bannerghatta, they used to go to the Tamil Nadu. So then they come back to the Karnataka. So there is absolutely no forest at all. And these are the like female groups. So the people in the Kolar, Bangarpet, and Andhra Pradesh, so it's a tri-junction area. So all three state meets. So taking a decision is very tough because it is the interstate issue. So and all these are the female groups, not the male group. Like 50, 60 females used to go once, one stretch. So they used to stay there for almost like 3 months, 4 months, and comes back. And there is a one tri-junction, so there the problem comes. So if you see the landscape of Bannerghatta and all, so like the people doesn't know how to do. Like Bannerghatta, they know. So this is the human-dominated landscape. Okay, so there is one big hill. So Karnataka people doesn't want elephant, Tamil Nadu people doesn't want elephant, and other people doesn't want elephants. So everyone it's a war zone. So everyone used to keep the crackers and wait for the elephants. If they cross the interstate, they throw the crackers and chase them to the Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu will chase it to Andhra. So these are the major issues with the Banagata this thing. So, and one of the major memorable incident, so we started working with the WTI on corridors from almost 2018 and 19. So we had one street play we wanted to conduct. So that street play, people were they're tired and sick of elephant, because if you say elephants, they'll come and beat us. Okay, that was the situation. Okay, so then what we thought is, so we'll take it in a different different direction. We'll tell a sanitation. So how the people and elephant both are affected by this pollution and things like that. So literally, we finished the street play, and that we did in the interstate border. So I also invited both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu Forest Department. So they were sitting there. So after the street play is completed, so I just told them to share their opinion on the elephants and things like that. Now they're calm. So, and there is one person who was drunk that day. So he came and just threw one water bottle in front of everyone. So saying that, see, you told about sanitation and everything. This is the kind of water we are drinking. Okay. So then lot of fights started. So this we are going and giving. This is happening in a corridor area. So this these people are going and complaining the Karnataka Forest Department. They're telling that go and tell the Tamil Nadu Forest Department. So Tamil Nadu Forest Department are telling, so these people are taking bribes, something and all. So go to the Karnataka Forest Department. So now both the Forest Department were there, and these people started creating a fight. So they're literally holding their necks, the farmers and the Forest Department. So there was an illegal cloth factory inside a corridor, where they were sending all the chemicals into the forested area. So this factory releasing the chemicals into the natural water body. So after passing the forest, it has to come to the village only, like next village. So then we told them we planned everything with the forest department. So now the Karnataka Forest Department is there, the Tamil Nadu Forest Department is there. So it's like a joint operation. So all three of us went there and sealed that that factory. So that was a very good success, I can tell. Yeah.
Thank you, Dilip. I think the key message is definitely that when people come together, when groups come together, I think our efforts are much elevated to tackle such challenges. Abhishek, I'll come to you because you lead an organization which also take up a lot of cleanup drives. So there is a lot of environmental issue also, which you're dealing with, you and your organization. So apart from, of course, the issues the wildlife are facing, especially elephants, you also come across so many challenges when it comes to disposal of waste and, littering the environment also. So what kind of challenges have you faced during the course of this work, whether it's specifically for elephants or for nature protection? And if there's a success story you would like to share. I think you're on mute. No, you're not audible.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Now you can hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
So to keep it short, our team figure out certain challenges, certain things which are very on ground, which are very difficult for us. So what we figure out, first of all, there is a habitat fragmentations. So there is a high traffic volume, high traffic intensity of vehicles through NH7, which is passing through corridors. So we keep record that more than 3,000 vehicles per hour are running on it, and also there is a railway inside a corridor area, which is Motichur Khori. So in daily in daily, if we have recorded in daily duration, more than 10 to 12 trains are running. So it can be a threat for wild animals and also for the elephants. And the second thing, we have figured out that the mindset of locals towards conservation, because most of the people are living in the fringe areas of the corridor. So it is a bit challenging for us to know what they find, what their point of view towards the conservation of elephant. Also, there is certain issues like more of most of the youth and most of the people, I mean the local people, are towards Western culture and Western thinking. They are not living the lifestyle of traditional methods. And also the third thing which we figure out that there are lots of plastic waste along the fringe villages of the corridor, and we have found certain numbers of plastic in the dung of elephant, which is very much painful for us. Due to poor waste management in the fringe villages, we have seen lots of plastic, improper disposal of plastic waste. So the overall conclusion is that this is all about the land fragmentation plus the high settlement of locals towards the fringe villages of corridor. So about the highlighting, what I want to highlight, which is more memorable for us, that when we started the project in 2022, there is a corridor called Teen Pani Corridor. The name of the teen, it's a local name because three small streams are flowing under the corridor, and then it is merging in Ganga River. So what we find that we have find lots of clothes of people whose bodies are going for the cremation. So many people throw their dead people clothes under the underpass, where there is a highly movement of elephant, and it is acting as a barrier for the movement of elephants. So there are lots of clothes and injections, medical waste, also religious waste, which are for past 5 to 6 years, and nobody is concerned about it. Who will pick up the religious waste? Who will pick up the clothes of dead people? So it was a big concern for us also, and for many people also. So we approached forest department, local forest department of respective ranges. So we told them about we have to do this thing. So they take us lightly. They take us that who will pick up the clothes. Let the Nagar Nigam do, or let the local authority do. So another day, we took the JCP there, and we called the forest department of respective range. We told them we are doing these things. They immediately come, and we have with local peoples and local bodies, government bodies, we have picked up numbers of clothes, and we have cleaned that area. So that was something which forest department and forest officials appreciate. And that was something which we believe that before we are doing the project, what our motive was, we have to build a strong relationship with forest department, also with locals, if we want to work in that area. So that moment was something which was appreciated by locals and forest department. Until now, whenever we work with them, they used to recall those days that they have done these things. There is an organization from Wildlife Trust of India. So it is something which is good for us, and that's all I have to share.
Yeah, I think that's very important, and especially in situations like this, where there is, on one hand, challenge of wildlife conservation, threats the wildlife are facing, plus the environment getting polluted because of all these issues, the waste disposal, management, and all. I think it's very important that there's a message, the way you curate this message and spread this message and engage with public to raise awareness about these issues, that becomes all the more critical, because unless you take the message of wildlife, of environment to people, things won't change. So my next question, and I would like to start with you, Dilip, is how has your organization engaged with public to spread awareness about elephants, their role? Because in certain situations, it could be very tricky how you put forth the message of elephant conservation, especially in conflict areas. So if you can tell us one strategy perhaps which has worked for you in that landscape, or something which you have done differently to engage public, to try and bring them to the other side, to the positive side of conservation, please do share with us. I think you're on mute.
So with the elephant corridor, so we have many other projects with where our organization do. So some of the projects for the elephant corridors and all, we have we have also categorized the different classes of people, like students or adults or a youth kind of a thing. So for the children, what we used to do, so we have all three corridors. So we have created a corridor schools. So every corridor has a school. So every 3 months we used to go and do education program with them. Because we can't tell every day save elephants and all. So we bring origami with them or a clay modeling. So we also design different games with the wildlife and corridors. So how to protect while they'll understand better. So that is the one we strategize with the students. And for the youth, the thing, so youth is always, whatever you tell, they'll criticize this thing. Initially, you go and address them. So we thought what is the thing? So we can address them with games. So we started cricket for conservation, this thing. So people of all the youth, so they spread a message so we are playing the cricket for the elephants, or elephants cricket for corridor. So a lot of people will come and gather. So while after playing or before playing, so we also invited some of the players who used to international players. So they also spreads a message. If they tell the message, so it will be so strong for the people who are who are interested in that sport. So we did one program with the youth. So wherever the elephant comes, so these people also, some of the people, so they started giving the message so I've seen this elephant here. So they'll be sending the videos wherever they see the elephants. And also if they're hurting the elephants or any this thing, so they'll also tell the people, so which is bad or which is good. So that is with the youth. And for the villagers and all, so as I told, so we used to do the street plays, or any any schemes. We have insurance and things like that. So we used to spread a message through a different platform, the street play and things like that.
Okay, that's wonderful. Koustav, you work in a landscape where, like we discussed earlier, high elephant-human conflict. And in these situations, trying to engage public can be really challenging. Because what do you say to a family who has gone through conflict, whether in terms of their crop damage, property damage, or loss of a loved one? So I would like to ask you, how do you navigate this sensitive thing? How do you engage people to try and orient them towards elephant conservation? And if there's any particular strategy you follow?
Yes, Upasana, you are telling a truth that we are dealing with in a landscape which is a mostly conflicted landscape. And the main issues with the tea estates, because most of the tea estates are closed from 5 years, 10 years. There are a very limited number of livelihood are there. People are jobless. So, and their elephants also again enter into those tea estates. They are destroying their houses and all those things. So that is a big challenging issue for all of us. Even in the forest villages also the scenario is the same, because the joblessness is in a big state in our West Bengal, and people are facing a huge challenge related to their livelihood and all. So we are basically engaging people, we engage in some different ways. We are making elephant quick response team. But I should tell you one thing, that we are fortunate of that we are working in this landscape. Instead of all the hurdles and the conflicts, but the mindset of the people compared to, even I worked in Madhya Pradesh and Kerala and other areas. Here in South Bengal also, in Northern West Bengal, the mindset of the communities are completely different. They are very tolerant about elephants. Elephants are entering into their houses, they are destroying it, but they are not like South Bengal people throwing fireballs or something. They never do, right? So, firstly, we have to thank all our community people because they are very tolerant about elephants. But we have to take specific strategies to deal with those conflicts along with the community members. So we made even Snap Foundation, Spore, we and other 3, 4, 5 organizations. We all collaboratively made some quick response team, which is a very effective strategy. Definitely, it is an effective strategy. Even this, I have learned this from one of our colleague Shama Pandey, who is also a part of WTI. His QRTs was extremely good, so we learned from him. And we made 76 QRTs in entire community areas, like in tea estates, like in other forest villages. So QRTs is very effective. We are also conducting some storytelling with the kids in every Saturday and Sunday for all the QRT members. In that way, we will make them understand what are the ecological importance of the elephants with some like psychological games and wildlife games and other dramas, not dramas, specifically games and audiovisual presentations. We are communicating with them directly every time. Whenever in a conflict situation, our team members are there to help them. And another strategy we have adopted, that they have several problems like livelihood problems, there are wildlife problems, there are other health issues. Maybe we are not here to deal with all the issues, or we cannot resolve, but at least hear their problem will give you a very good boost. So every month we have conducted a session with the entire villages where we have the QRTs. People of the villages came to us, even the females. They are telling their problems. We are just noting those problems, hearing them properly, give them importance, and send those problems or keep those problems with us and discuss it with the administration and forest department. In that way, few of the issues are resolved. Like if they raise 10 issues, then in a month we can easily resolve 2 or 3 or 4 issues, which is very higher in rate for them. In that way, we can connect them very easily according to during those conversation and interactions. We are playing our few documentaries. We are some film shows and interactions regarding elephant ecology and all those things. In that way, we can connect them with elephants. And accordingly, we will try to hear and try to solve basic problems of them. Right now, we have a plan of, as I told you, that livelihood, there is a huge problem. Another is education. The exposure is not there for the kids. So right now, we have a plan of making a mobile library in every 10 QRTs. For every 10 QRTs, we are trying for making some mobile libraries. Every Saturday and Sunday, we will use those vehicles and all as a mobile library. We'll teach those students, tell the stories regarding environment and elephant, and rest of the 5 days, those vehicles will be using as a conflict mitigation vehicles. Means to safeguard those people. So these are our just recent future plans. We are planning of it. So in that way, communities are very tolerant, and QRTs and interaction with the people, hearing them directly, give them importance, is a very effective strategy as per our landscape.
Yeah, wonderful. I think that's one of the great things that we still, as a country, we are very tolerant of this, because the stats explain that we still have around 450 to 500 humans dying every year on an average because of human-elephant conflict, as opposed to 100 elephants on an average which die. So the number of people dying are still 5 times more than the number of elephants dying, and still within certain communities there is resilience, there is reverence, there is respect towards the not just elephants but other wildlife also. I think it's very important how we acknowledge that, how we leverage on that to spread our message, which brings me to you, Abhishek. You and your group, Nature's Buddy, you also spread a lot of messages about this whole issue of keeping your environment clean, safe plastic disposal. Is there any particular tool, awareness tool, which you have used to spread this message? Because I know you guys are very active on social media also. There's a lot of different kinds of methods you use to spread the message. So tell us something about these ideas which you have implemented.
So there are many tools. So there are each tool are we use on the basis of the age category. Like we are allotted 3 corridors of Rajaji National Park. So there are huge settlement there. There are many numbers of government schools. So with children, we used to do a small play like telling them about the elephant, about the pain of elephant. Uh, Also, we teach them do's and don'ts when they counter elephant. Also, we teach them in the form of storyline. Also, we teach them in the form of art of awareness. We give them a theme, and also we teach them in the form of a discussion or an essay writing competition. So for with students, it is easy, but it is more difficult when we talk about the adults, their parents. So when we go on villages, in villages, we discuss with people. So we face that they first of all tell that about the crop grading. So most of the people living there are doing occupation of dependent on the agriculture. So when we start discussion them, when we they aware them, they first of all say that their whole economy, their whole family depend on the crops. So what is the issue of crop reading? So at that moment we get numb. What to answer, how to face, how to tackle these questions. So to be honest, there is an elephant there, which is roaming on all 3 corridors, and that elephant is one tusker. We call it Ek Daat Wala Hathi. So that is something which is miracle for us. So there is a mantra in Ganesh Aarti that Ek Dant Dayadant Char Bhujadhari. So we use this mantra. So we used to tell people this is Ganeshji. This is the avatar of Ganeshji, and we should not throw stones or we should not burst crackers on Ganeshji. It's basically a god of Ganesha. Now we have why we do Ganeshji ki aarti, because we do Ganeshji ki aarti to stop all the when we start something new business or new work. So to stop all the bad things or to stop all the tackles, we use the aarti. So we tell them like this only. So at that moment they get shocked, or they understand that is it. We have it is literally a god Ganesha. After that we observe them. We tell them this is a habitat. This is also the habitat for you and also for the elephant. You both have to live together. You both should be understanding level or everything. So you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. So they understand what we are saying. They said yes. They agree with us. Then finally we tell them that if you disturb them, if you will throw stone, or if you do burst cracker, or you will spark that torch on their eyes, they will charge you, and ultimately you will lose your life. Which is life is more important. Like if a family member, like in that many regions, there is many people are died because of the conflict with elephant. So their family is economically damaged. So there is a huge loss if any member is died due to conflict. Or so we try to understand if anyone die due to conflict, then the entire family gets destroyed. So we teach them in the form of Nukkad Natak also, and with the direct interaction. So this thing we observe when we do grassroots survey. So that's all.
Yeah, I think different aspects like art, culture, technology, religion, all these can be somehow tools to engage people, which at WTI also through our campaign, Gajutsavs, which we are implementing in different states, we've been using some of these approaches to actually get people, different kinds of stakeholders. Because if you look at it, this is a matter which actually cuts across different stakeholders. It's not just a responsibility of NGOs or the forest department who are working there, but it's a collective responsibility of different kinds of stakeholders, be it advocates, be it media, be it other government bodies apart from forest department. So there are definitely ways which I'm sure people can take away from the points which you have mentioned. And also I'm sure people who are attending, if they are also implementing conservation projects in their landscape, they may be implementing some of these tools already. Since we are a little bit constrained on time, I'll combine last two questions of mine. And one of that is the reason why we're all here is because we're all part of a network. We're all part of a conservation network. And we have seen that without collaborations, conservation can't move ahead for long. So how does your organization, or since you're part of this collaborative network, what, in your opinion, partnerships, what is the role which partnerships can play? How important it is to tackle wildlife emergencies like these? And what is your vision for elephants in your respective landscape? What are the long-term vision? What is that one message you would like to share with everyone that, this is an ideal situation? This is what you envision for elephants and people coexisting in your landscape. And I would like to start with you, Koustav. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, am I audible? Collaboration is one of the most effective tool for any conservation aspect. I am very much believe in it. I do believe in collaborations, and collaborations among the stakeholders, like the organizations, then the forest department, then other stakeholders like the line departments, the armies, the police, the administrations, the tea estate or coffee estate authorities, any of the thing. If all people are in a same cup, then the tea will be a very tasty tea. If the milk is not there, if the tea leaves are not good, if the sugar is not there, so there is no use of drinking those teas. The thing is that collaborative effort is very much effective, as people has different views, people have different mindsets, people have different thinkings. So we have to collaborate those things and concatenate all the ideas and all the thinkings of all the stakeholders will give us a very good result. So I am very much open to any kind of collaborations. And partnership is something which, without that, conservation or protection of elephants is not going to help, or any wildlife thing. Because as we have supported by WTI, partnered with WTI, that is why we can implement our ideas into our conservation interventions. If the partnerships or the support from those senior organizations are not there, then it is impossible to replicate our ideas which are in our mind. So partnership is very much required, as I have seen so much of organizations that has some ideas, but they are not able to replicate those ideas in conservation actions because they don't have that partnership skills. So partnership is very much required, but I am also keen to inform you that WTI or senior organizations like WTI also host some programs with other small organizations or like grassroots organizations more and more. In that way, we can collaborate more and more and get some more good ideas and replicate it in the conservation interventions. And for looking forward, definitely it is a challenge for all of us. But as elephants is the heritage animal of our country, so we have to think of a way that where coexistence should be there. Like we have to aware the people, we have to plan the interventions, we have to ideate the things, we have to constantly interact with each other and get out of good ideas from others and make it in a single idea, and accordingly and collaboratively we can think of. And as per my wish is that within 5 to 10 years if we can gradually decrease the conflict till 20% in our country, it will be our achievement in future. So we have to work collaboratively and partner with organizations to secure our precious elephants for our own future. Thank you.
Thank you, Koustav. Dilip, any particular example of collaborations which you have done, not just with other NGOs, but even locally at a local level with any government body, any non-government bodies, where you have together tackled a particular issue, which actually emphasizes the importance of collaborations and partnerships for this particular wildlife concern, and also what are your hopes for elephants in your landscape?
So the first thing is, so the collaboration, as told, so it's very much important to deal with the wildlife. So till you take a confidence of people that so we're not able to save the wildlife. That is the one thing. So collaboration, this thing. So we also have a lot of collaboration with people, a lot of government agencies like line agencies, and also the forest department. Forest department should be a very good collaborator. So we also did interstate meetings with the forest department, like Karnataka and Tamil Nadu joint forest meeting. So to resolve all the different problems, because what the states have become. So this is not my state issue, or this is not my state issue. If the elephant crosses Karnataka and go to the Tamil Nadu, so the people of Tamil Nadu will tell this elephant is from Karnataka. So that the same thing happened. So Karnataka people will tell, so we don't want an elephant. This elephant is from Tamil Nadu. So once we collaborate as a forest department within themselves or with an NGO, so we act as a bridge for them. So different ideas, so different things. So they also the different forest department also have different ideas to tackle the situation. So once the collaboration is done, so we can solve the problem very easily. And also we also had recently we had a collaboration even with a lot of line agencies. So there we got to know that Bangalore is so urbanized this thing, and Bangalore and Tamil Nadu. So people are facing a lot of issues with the electricity. So the one incident, the people are losing their lives because of the electricity. Because a lot of farmers here, only the electric for the bowels and all, it is in the night time. So it's not in the daytime. But if you don't tell in collaboration with the forest department to them, so they don't understand. So we had a collaboration meeting with the forest department and line agencies like electric department is the one thing. And they also understood that low-hanging lines, how important those are. So a lot of elephants in Osur are getting killed by the electrocution. This thing. This is not like intentional. This thing. So there are a lot of ignorance. Basically, I can tell. So we had a collaboration meeting with the forest department. Now they also realized that this is a very serious problem. Now they're repairing all those things. So that is the one thing. So second thing about my vision for Banerghatta or Osur, this thing. So now the people are telling, well, elephant comes out. So for the forest department, it's your elephant, take the elephant back. So, or you don't leave us inside the forest, you take your elephant back. So my vision is, so each people around Banerghatta should say, this is my elephant. This is not your elephant. So that is the biggest achievement maybe in last 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very important, the point you raised, especially many non-forest department agencies, as wildlife conservationists or wildlife conservation NGO, many times we kind of hesitate to bring them on board. But actually, most of it is not intentional. I'm sure if we collaborate with, say, railway department, highway department, they are ready to come. And it's how you tackle together. So I think as wildlife practitioners, it's our responsibility to expand our reach beyond just forest department and involve these different stakeholders, because everybody, comes with a positive thought to do something for the wildlife. It's just that they need the requisite tools, the information on how to act on it. And I think it's a bigger responsibility we have as NGOs to provide those tools to them. What are the kind of mitigation measures they can incorporate? What are the where these corridors are, where these elephant habitats are? So sometimes they may not be aware of these things. So I think when it comes to getting people on board, collaborations, when we talk about, it's a very integral part of what we do. And also, Dilip, because one thing which I think Erosha India also does well is collaboration with universities, because you get a lot of student volunteers and youths who can, I think children are the future, and they will take forward this message. So I think the youth group, the children group are extremely important to bring on board for any of our interventions, which Abhishek, I'll come to you, because you, most of the people in your group, I think are under 30. So you lead a group of people who are young, who are dynamic, who want to make a change. How do you inspire these collaborations? How do you inspire these partnerships? And what, in your view, do you think could be future for elephants in your, and what hope you have for elephants and wildlife in general in your particular area?
So exactly, I believe collaboration is the key of success in every field. In every field, it's a success. So like we are connected with youth. So many youth from college or schools which are under 35, 25 or 20, which are doing the summer internship. They are indulged with us in activities of conservation of elephant and their habitat. So it's all about they participate in cleanliness drive with us. They participate in awareing people. They participate in acting as nukkad natak or anything. So I feel very good how the youth are coming forward, and they are much aware in protecting our nature and also the wildlife. So, like if I talk about the partnership, we are working with different organizations like Six Sense Vivana. With them, we are working in conservation of elephant, not in corridors, but outside the areas where the movement of elephant are frequent. So at that forest ranges, we are awareing locals, people. We are working with forest department. We are doing a workshop with them of camera traps, and also we used to discuss what are the challenges they are facing in their corridors. And also we used to do like cleaning up drive and cleaning of water holes also, because during summers many people used to go there for bathing, so they all pollute the water holes, which is ultimately it's very dangerous for elephant. So we used to clean and maintain the water holes. So my ultimately more conclusion is that if we all should come in one platform. If I talk about one platform, so forest department should come, railway department should come, local peoples, local government bodies, and of course the power corporation should come if we talk about the conservation, and we should also rectify all the threats which are dangerous for the elephant. So also also the Uttarakhand government should support sustainable development and adopt green corridor concept. So these all things, I think that if we will do these all things, the number of population of elephant will definitely increase.
Thank you, Abhishek, for that wonderful thought to kind of end this session. And it was incredible talking to all of you, and I'm sure our attendees also liked getting to know about you. And if you could please also put your organization link in the chat box. That would be really nice if anyone wants to connect with you later. Gaurav, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Upasana, and thank you, Abhishek, Dilip, and Koustav for an amazing discussion. I learned a lot, and I think the key word, like Upasana said, is collaborations. Nowadays, I think the age of competition is over. Collaboration should be the key that we have in mind, whatever it is, and particularly in conservation. And thank you, Upasana, for moderating this lovely discussion that we had today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, everyone, for joining today. Sorry we went over time. I think a few people may have left due to some time constraints. But you don't need to worry. These people and you, of course, will receive a recording link in your email inbox within 24 hours. So if you want to, if you think you missed something, or or if you were unable to attend today for any reason or had to leave early, you won't be missing out on anything from today's very, very interesting discussion. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and thank you to our wonderful speakers, and thank you, Upasana, for this lovely session. And it was truly eye-opening, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed a lot as much as I did. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Good night.